Hi guys, my name is Ayam. I'm the founder of Lift to Lead, and today we're going to go through how you can get 10 to 15 sales calls every 30 days without using word of mouth referrals and without spending a dime on ads. We're going to use a high touch outbound prospecting framework, and I'm going to walk you through the 4 steps that you need to follow right here. Let's jump in. All right, so today we're going to talk about the Lift to Lead framework. And this is a way that marketing agencies can book 10 to 15 sales calls every 30 days without word of mouth referrals and without spending a dime on ads. Think about the last time that you had fun chasing down quality leads. That's not a trick question. It's like one of the most frustrating things about running a marketing agency. And I know that. Most agencies struggle to sign on clients after the first few come through the doors. And looking for leads is one of the worst, like most time consuming, frustrating processes ever. The other problem is if you're always hunting for leads, you don't have time to service your clients the way you should be, right? They pay the bills, they pay you, that's a stream of revenue. You should be focusing on keeping them happy. So that leaves you feeling a little stuck sometimes. And I know that getting referrals just helps you kickstart the business. It's not going to keep it growing. And paid ads, you've probably seen money just like swirl down the drain. It's painful to look at the Google ads figures or the meta ads, whatever you're running. So that means growth becomes really hard to sustain long term because you're just like sinking money and time into these ventures that don't really pan out that well. And that's where the Lift to Lead framework kind of comes in. This is a super personalized outbound prospecting method that targets decision makers. That's the key here is you're going to be reaching out to VPs, CEOs, directors, people who have the ability to say yes to you and to bring you on board. You don't even have to spend any time, again, asking for word of mouth referrals or spending money on ads. We're just going to be doing targeted outreach and finding the right people to talk to. But before we get into that, giving you a little bit of background about myself. I used to work for W Promote. It's the largest independent marketing agency in the United States. And I work with some pretty massive brands, things like Mossy Oak or Veragio, among others. So I saw a ton of clients when I joined come on, and there was like a massive period of growth, this big push for growth. And then I also saw how badly that can slow down when you run out of those quality leads. Your sales team basically has to kick into overdrive. And if that's just you plus a few people, you might be struggling to sign on all these clients. Or maybe your sales team just doesn't have time to go and prospect leads, but they're really good at closing the calls. Again, you're going to slow down unless you have those leads and those calls booked on your calendar. So that brings us to kind of the truth that no one wants to address. The hard truth is that there's no way to routinely sign clients other than constantly prospecting. You have to be reaching out on a regular basis and doing it at scale. And that's the only way to keep your agency growing. Without that, it kind of just like stagnates. And maybe you're happy, right? Maybe you're not in a period of growth and you don't really want that. That's fine. But if you are looking to take your agency up to the next level, you're going to have to prospect. And that entails vetting, selecting, contacting, and then nurturing leads before they even get to you. And again, I'm assuming you've tried this. It's a long process. It's a very long, time-consuming sales cycle. And beyond that, the other thing that you need to focus on is finding the right fit for your business. If you're an SEO agency or if you're specifically focused on performance marketing, you might not be the right choice for certain types of industries. And you know what clients are best for you because you've seen what works. So some business models and industries will just naturally fit better, and you have to make sure you're reaching out to the right types. So you got a couple options here, and the first one is DIY, and that's what I'm here to teach you. This is super viable. If you follow these 4 steps that I'm going to show you, you're going to be an expert at conducting this kind of outbound prospecting method, and you're going to get the same results. But it's super time consuming. It might take you a while to get used to it. So the other thing you can do is you can find expert help. If you have a trusted advisor in mind, someone who does outbound frameworks or like email marketing, you can reach out to them, or you can schedule some time and chat with us. So here are the exact steps that you want to take to start signing 3 to 5 clients every 90 days. And again, remember, this starts with 10 to 15 sales calls every 30 days, and then you're going to sign 3 to 5 clients every 90 days. It's pretty hard not to. So let's jump into it. All right, so you can see I've created a flowchart here, and we're gonna go through all of this step by step. So what we're gonna do is over here, if you take a look, there's these light purple, that's gonna be these big picture steps, and that's just kind of for planning purposes. And then we'll break it down to these subtasks and what you have to do exactly to get everything set up. So right now, what we do is we look at this and we have number one, we have to scrape quality leads. We have to get really, really high quality email addresses and make sure that they're working. And we're going to do that in a way that targets your industry of choice and the right type of people. Like, again, the CEOs and VPs that I mentioned. Step two is you're going to set up an email infrastructure, having like a rock solid foundation, having good emails, good email hygiene, making sure that you're not just sending out emails that look spammy. That is going to be crucial to making sure that you have high deliverability and that your emails aren't just going to spam. Step three is creating your cold email campaign. And that sounds a little daunting, I know, but it's really, really simple. And we're going to break it down into steps. And this is also going to be key to making sure that people don't just open your email, but they actually want to respond. You're going to give them reasons to respond. And then step four is you're going to manage your inboxes. This sounds very obvious, but you'd be shocked how often you get replies and then those slip through the cracks just because you're seeing, tons and tons of emails filter in. And from there, all you have to do is take in the sales call, make sure it's the right fit, and then sign that contract. So backing up to step one, we're going to start by using Apollo.io to target decision makers. And how do we do this? We go to Apollo.io and we're going to log in. If you don't have an account, you can create the base one for completely free. That's what I'm using here. And you can see I don't really have any credits. I just have the free version of this. So you get into Apollo.io and we're going to go into the search feature here. So you can see that on Apollo, it's a massive, massive database. They got 284 million emails. And this seems very overwhelming. What we're going to do first is we're going to go here to email status and we're going to go to verified. And the reason we're doing this is because Apollo.io has at a base level made sure that any email remaining here is actually active. It's not someone who's laid off or left the company for other reasons. So we're going to check that first. And you can see that pares the list down a little bit down to about 100 million. Next, we're going to go for job titles. Again, we're talking big, heavy hitting titles, things like CEO. And you can see as you type, it's going to suggest all these other ones like CEO and founder, CEO and president. So we're going to put in a few here just for demonstration purposes. Let's say president and owner. Let's go with founder. Yeah, so we've got a few in here. And again, you can feel free to expand this list a little bit more. For example, if you wanted to put VP or vice president, you can put VP, vice president, VP sales. Yeah, VP sales. But yeah, basically you're going to go through and add whatever you feel is the right fit title-wise. And again, we can refine these and segment them further. You could do a second email campaign later down the line, talking with just directors or targeting just another title. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to skip the company field because this is like if you're looking for a specific company, and that doesn't really help us. We want to cast a wider net so that we have more emails to work with. So we're going to go down here to number of employees. And what I've found works really well is if you stick to like if it has less than 500 employees, because once you start even at that level of the 201 to 500, you start getting bigger companies that have dedicated sales teams, and they might already be doing the same kind of marketing that you're doing. They might have an in-house agency. They might have some other system figured out. So we're going to go for the smaller size of things. And if you want, you can even limit it to just these 200. And then industry and keywords. Now, this is totally up to you. you have to decide, and you know best based on your past clients, what industries you like working with, where you've had great success, and what you understand. But for today, what we're going to stick with is we're going to go with software. So we can do computer software. There might be others that get recommended, like computer games. You might want to basically cast a little bit wider net again here and go for something like animation might be in your wheelhouse, might not. This is totally up to you. Computer hardware, if you're familiar with that side of things too. And you can see now we've cut the list down from that 280 million down to 57,000. And this is like a pretty good size list. This is 57,000 emails that we can send. So from here, what you can do is you can start exporting these. If you click and select all of these, you can export. But the unfortunate thing is this requires Apollo, the Pro plan, and that can add up in cost really quickly. So rather than doing that, what I almost want to, like, you could export this 25 at a time. You do the math. That's going to take a while. So instead of this, what I like to do is there's this thing called Leads Magically. And I am not affiliated with them. I just think they have a really, really good product here. But you're going to put in your email, and you're going to also copy and paste this entire link. You can see it has all the filters applied. You're going to paste it straight into here. And then you're going to go down to the number of leads. For example, now we're looking at 58,000. And we can go and find, let's say 50,000. And you can see for 50,000 leads, it's just going to cost us about $150. It's pretty cost effective. And the Apollo pricing, you can take a look at it. But it can add up very, very quickly. If you do this, like, every single month, you can consider getting Apollo. But if you don't want to do that, you can just go one off and do your first set for 150 and then go back for more as you need them. So once you have this, you're basically just going to submit, and then they'll send you an entire file with all of your emails. And you might think that now you're ready to go, but there's this last step right here. There's email verification, which is a crucial step, which a lot of people skip. But again, Apollo verified some of these. They said that, like, these are, likely to be working emails. We just did double check. We like to go through this tool called Million Verifier. And this is an email verification service. Once you get your scraped list from this people scraper, you're going to plug it into here. And once you plug it into Million Verifier, it will actually confirm. You can see they have 99% verification accuracy. And this allows you to make sure that your emails will not be bouncing, which won't affect your email deliverability and your reputation for your email. What that means, I'll get to in a second, but it basically means that you're not going to go to spam, and instead you are actually going to be getting into your clients' inboxes or prospective clients' inboxes. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up email infrastructure. And this sounds a little bit daunting, but it's really not that bad. We're going to go to this domain registrar called Porkbun. And this is basically, they offer almost at cost. Like, they don't barely making a profit, but they allow you to register a bunch of domains in bulk. And what we're going to do is we're going to create whatever your website is, your domain name. We're going to create variations of it. So our site is liftalead.com. Here's how it looks. And what we've done is we've taken all of these and done slightly different variations, like LLFT, a lead. We have lift a lead with a U. We have lift a IED with like an I. Looks very similar. You get the gist. And you're going to go through and register 15 of these. You can see I have 15 domains. And the reason for that is because this allows you to create 45 total email accounts. And we're going to log in and take a look at how this looks. So in our admin center for Microsoft, we're going to create a Microsoft admin account, and we're going to add 45 total, 3 emails per domain. So 3 times 15 is 45. and we're going to have 45 total email addresses. And you can see that I've created all of these here. And the reason for this is because if we start sending out too many emails from just one email, that's going to basically put us on a blacklist, and we're going to end up in spam over and over. And that's not going to get us anywhere. So instead, we like to distribute it across 45 total. And this lets us kind of scale in a pretty crazy way. So if you look at this, we're sending maybe like, let's say 150 emails per day from each email, 150 from each domain. And you have 15 domains. That means we're sending out 2,200 emails per day. And that means that over the course of 1 month, we're sending out that 67,000, or total amount. We can send out about 67,000 emails. And that's a lot. Once you have that many out, there's almost no way that you won't sign clients. So once you have your pork-bone domains registered, you're going to make a bunch of changes to the DNS settings. And I'm going to show you just one, and you're going to apply these changes across all of them. So you're going to go into here, and you're going to manage DNS records. And right here, you're just going to click the Office 365 button. And once you click that, you're going to see it's going to add all these different things for Outlook.com. And this is basically going to tell you that, hey, you can now send emails from Outlook or the Microsoft account that we set up earlier. And you're going to go through and do the DNS settings for all of those. And then what you'll do is you'll actually create and connect all the emails here. You'll basically fill in a variation of your first name and last name, and you'll just put this for all of these. And you can see I've got all these domains. You're going to create 3 accounts for each domain. And what I've done is I've done first name, last initial. I've done first name and then also first name dot last name. And you can see that like it's already shown as taken, but you're going to do this 3 times again for every single one. And you're going to create a password and make sure you write it down. You're going to keep the password the same for all of them for ease of management. Okay, so now that you've created all your accounts, the last step is you have to warm your emails. This is a critical step. And remember, we talked about email deliverability. Deliverability just means that you need to land in the inboxes rather than in spam. And we're going to use this tool, smartlead.ai. This basically helps you warm up your addresses, your email addresses, by sending out small amounts, bit by bit. And we're going to go into here and connect all of our email accounts. So you can see I've added all 45 email accounts from Outlook straight into here. And you can see that our reputation is really, really good right now. And all of them are warming up. So once this is done, this is going to take about 2 weeks. Just on automated, it's going to be automated, but it's going to take about 2 weeks to get all of your emails warmed up and done. And then after that, we can start sending out your actual cold email campaigns. So step 3 is creating the cold email campaigns. And this I will go into much more depth in my next video. You can actually find it in the description. But number 1, you're going to create an irresistible offer. And what does that mean? Think about what your customer ultimately wants to do. If you're working with a software company, they want to sign on projects. So you're going to basically pitch them, hey, we help software companies get new projects every 15 days, every 25 days, whatever it is, what you think is a reasonable time frame. And you're going to create follow-up emails. You're going to go through and write an introduction. You're going to say, hey, blank person, I'm wondering, is your agency taking on clients right now for software development projects? If so, I can help you. Would you like me to get into it? And then you're going to send out the email campaigns, ramping up the daily sends. You're going to start with like 15 per day and ramp it up to that 20, 25, 30 that we talked about. So once your email campaigns are running along, you're going to start to see eventually responses trickle in. Crazy, I know, but you're going to see the responses trickle into your inboxes. And what you'll do is you'll basically see all of your emails come through into your master inbox in SmartLead. And this is why I recommend getting SmartLead, is because you don't have to log into all 45 accounts. Can you imagine what a nightmare that would be? You're just going to come into here into the master inbox, and you're going to go through all the answered emails and unanswered emails that you have. You're going to make sure that you're looking for prospective leads and people who might be actually willing to sign on with you. So once they're in the sales funnel, all you got to do is take a call with them, and then that's it. Like, you just got to send them an email, make sure that they're willing to take a call, and then you're going to turn them into a sales call. And from there, that's up to you to close, right? Like, you're going to go through and you're going to bring them on, show them why your company is better than any other person out there, and then you're going to bring them on as a client. So let's recap. The 4 steps. Number 1, you're going to scrape quality leads using Apollo IO. Step 2, you're going to set up your email infrastructure using Porkbun for domains and Microsoft email accounts. Then you're going to write your cold email campaign. And then you're going to manage your inboxes. You're going to make sure that you're replying to emails. That's really it. Those are the 4 steps, and that's all you need to get going. So now that we've reached the end of the video, you've got a couple options here. You can either go and try to do this yourself, which is a totally viable method, and you'll get the results you're after. However, you should understand that it might take you half a year or maybe 9 months with trial and error, which means you're losing time and money. So the other option is that you can work with a trusted advisor like us at Lift to Lead, or another email marketing agency where they can get you started right away. And if that sounds like you, if you'd rather just kind of work with an expert, get everything done right away, I've put a link to my calendar in the description, and that's a one-on-one. There's not going to be anyone else. It's just going to be a one-on-one call, and let's dive in and figure out how we can help your business scale. And thank you for watching. I appreciate you sticking around to this point. So good luck, and I hope your business kills it this year.